Yeah, so this diagram here really summarizes it all. The processes that you need to know: melting, evaporation, freezing, and condensing. Another example of a heat gain process will be evaporation. So evaporation happens when water changes from liquid to gas. So for example, you have a bowl of water, bowl of soup. Then if you leave it out for too long, you realize that the water starts to get lesser and lesser because the water evaporates. It doesn't just magically disappear, right? Because it gains heat and it evaporates into water vapor, okay? Now another process is condensation. Condensation is the one that we discussed just now when we talk about the water vapor turning into mist. Mist is actually in liquid state, okay? So that's condensation. And lastly will be freezing. When you freeze something, you are changing it from liquid to solid state. Like for example, if I were to freeze, change my water into ice cube, so I'm freezing it. So the processes on top, right? All these processes are what we call heat gain processes. That means to say, for it to turn from solid to liquid, it needs to gain heat. Like for example, I have an ice cube. How do I melt it? I need to heat it up, let it gain heat, then it will melt. Okay, so similarly for evaporation, if I have a bowl of water there, it needs to gain heat, then it can evaporate into a gas. Then, of course, the processes below, all these are what we call heat loss processes. That means to say, for us to condense, right? Remember the steam coming out? Why does the steam come out and condense into mist? Because it lost heat. It lost heat to where? It lost heat to the surrounding air, okay? And then, of course, the next one for freezing would be from liquid to ice cube. Also, it needs to lose heat. So we put it in the freezer for it to lose heat. Now, another process that is not stated here, I just want to include that, is actually boiling. Boiling happens at 100 degrees, okay? So boiling is also between changing from liquid to a gas. When we boil something, it changes from liquid to a gas. So when it reaches its boiling point, it will turn from a liquid to a gas.